Energy and energy efficiency are at the forefront of everyone's minds. Whether it is in the home, at work or whilst travelling, people are now more focused than ever on how to conserve energy and save money. The Energy Saving Trust is a non-profit organisation that provides free and impartial advice on how to stop wasting energy and start saving money.
The average person in the UK has a carbon footprint of about 9 tonnes. Now, the government's got targets to reduce that carbon emissions by 80% by 2050, so that means all of us have to work hard to get our carbon footprint down.
In 2011, we are accustomed to adjusting our thermostat to increase the temperature in our home. In the last 40 years, the average internal temperature has increased by over 5 degrees. This is due primarily to the increased proportion of homes with central heating. Of all the energy a 21st century home uses, 61% is specifically for heating. This usage can be reduced, and it can be done in a variety of unexpected ways that will improve the efficiency of your heating without reducing your comfort.
It certainly can be quite confusing for somebody who's just told you need to be more energy efficient to know exactly what it is you're supposed to be doing. And that's where we come in really at the Energy Saving Trust. We're here to make sure that people know. You can ask us a specific question. You get in touch with one of our advice centres, and we'll listen to your questions and we'll get back to you specifically on what that is. And the best bit about our advice centres is we're not acting on behalf of anybody else. We're not trying to make money for any industries. We're trying to save carbon. And by us trying to save carbon means we need you to save carbon. So we want to help you do the best thing that you can possibly do to mean that you're going to save the most possible carbon that you can. So yeah, it's about making it simple and making it you can give people a list of 20 things that they can do in their home, and that's just going to confuse them. If you can bring it down to 1 or 2 things, which are the most important things, it's going to save them the most carbon, the most money, and then help them actually do that, then they're probably likely to just go ahead and do that if it's made really, really simple. So yeah, the schemes that are available at the moment in the UK to help people be more energy efficient do make it really easy and help people know, yeah, this is a good thing for me to do, and you'll see the benefits straight away.
Heating our homes and buildings can be expensive and drastically inefficient if your boiler is not operating properly. Some boilers are reported to be operating at only 50% of their potential, so improving or replacing older equipment can be key in heating your home more efficiently.
If you've got an old energy inefficient boiler and it's starting to break down the whole time and you're getting a bit fed up with it and the repairman's struggling more and more to find the parts to replace to fix it, look at replacing that, because that's a massive saver there. And when you're replacing that, replace it with the most energy efficient boiler you can. You're going to start to see hundreds of pounds off shedding off your energy bills there.
Ariston Fermo is a business that was started 80 years ago in Italy by Aristide Meloni. We are a world leader in our chosen markets, and our products are available in more than 150 countries worldwide. Our boilers offer a wide range of capabilities, so a wide range of outputs and a wide range of features. Some with very simple controls and some with very advanced diagnostic controls. And it allows you to adapt and add on to other renewable technologies as well. So from an energy saving point of view, it gives you a real capability to add on to other systems. Also, with the new regulations, it gives you more zoning capability, which other boilers don't. The design is easy on the eye. I believe they look more attractive than other boilers, so actually you can have them outside. But also, the controls are very intuitive, so they're very easy to use. And depending on what your preference is, there's a digital display or there's analog displays as well. We believe that 80% of our business will derive from renewable energy technology by 2020. Obviously, for the consumer, apart from ethical views about the environment, protecting the environment, global warming, etc., it's also the rising cost of energy bills. So that for all these reasons, energy efficient is very important. So for Ariston, we are focused on developing a renewable range of solar, thermal and heat pumps, which will be key products in the battle against global warming.
Gas central heating controls are an excellent way to monitor the amount of energy that you're using in the home. It is expensive to replace a boiler. If you need to replace a boiler, though, make sure it's an Energy Saving Trust recommended one. They are the most efficient on the market. But by turning your thermostat down, just a degree perhaps, it can make a difference to your energy bill.
Heat is lost through the windows of every building in the UK. Window design has come on in leaps and bounds in the last 30 years, and the Wood Window Alliance have a solution that has energy conservation in mind from design to installation.
The Wood Window Alliance was set up by 40 manufacturers. We came together to promote timber windows and the modern methods of manufacturing. People's impressions of double glazing is that it needs to be plastic, cheap, and unfortunately the timber, people's impressions are that it'll rot, it'll decay, needs painting every year, and that's factually not true. The research that was done by the Imperial College shows that the timber windows will now last a minimum of 60 years and should last longer than that if they're being maintained well. Timber windows are manufactured in controlled factory environments nowadays. They're not bench joiners, they are really big industrial plants. The timber that's used is of a high quality. It's usually laminated, engineered before we've actually manufactured the window. And when we come down to the paint finishes are put on, not with brushes anymore, usually electrostatic paint plants or standard hand spraying. Both give a very good paint finish. They'll last at least 8 to 10 years before you need to do any maintenance. The Wood Window Alliance brand mark was created so that we could set standards within the UK for timber window manufacturing. We buy timber from a sustainable source, and the two schemes are accredited to ensure that we are buying from a sustainable source. It means for every tree that we're cutting down to make into a timber window, there is a replacement scheme in place to put back into the forest another 2-3 trees to actually grow in its place. And today there are now more trees in the forest than there was 40-60 years ago. And that standard includes things like the FSC and PEFC for where the actual timber comes from, the controlled environment. The Wood Window Alliance membership is totally committed to the environment. We use a controlled product, as in we take down a tree and that tree is replanted. We move them into factories. We're energy efficient within our factories to actually use the timber. It's actually something that we can actually use as a fuel to actually burn, or it can be put into landfill, and even in landfill the window will actually rot back down to its basics and disappear into the ground.
Energy efficiency can be a confusing topic, so having an industry band together to identify common goals is an excellent way to ensure progress benefits us as consumers. In bringing together over 40 leading names in their industry, the Wood Window Alliance has done just that.
We don't just stop there. We go out and meet with our members, and we also meet with potential members and assist them to understand the technology that we actually use to manufacture timber windows. So we do regular visits with small companies who are trying to improve their own manufacturing ways so that they can actually gain from the benefit that we've actually all gained from. By learning that technology. You can't just arrive without anything and be a member of the Wood Window Alliance. You have to achieve the standards that are set. We actually fit both double and triple glazing in, and it's all about getting to that important thing, which is the energy rating for people in the houses. So you're really looking at trying to get to an A rating, which we achieve with a huge variety of the different windows. We're energy efficient within our factories to actually use the timber, and then we put the window into the house, and these windows should last a lifetime and beyond, really. They shouldn't be a case of needing to be replaced. You only have to look around. The Edwardian and Victorian windows that are being stripped out today are probably 100, 150 year old, and they're being taken out because you can't get double glazed units in them. We always knew that timber windows would last, but everybody's impression of the timber windows that were made in the 70s, 80s was always that they'd only last 25, 35 years, and that was a poor message that was going out to people. The costs of maintaining a timber window over 60, 80, 100 years, if it was done on a regular basis, was actually cheaper than doing it with the plastics, the plastic window. What we were trying to do was show to people that they could add value to their property. Most of the houses that people have, they've ripped out timber windows and put plastic in, and then 20, 25 years on, they're drafty, they can't get hold of the ironmongery for them, they start falling apart. they become brittle because that's the type of window that they are, and they need to be replaced. And our argument there is adding value to people's houses. And if we add value by turning around and taking out the old plastic windows or the old timber windows and putting new modern windows in, they will stay inside the property. The technology that we use is based upon the Scandinavian style of windows, because, and the rest of Europe basically, because they've continued developing timber windows, whereas we ceased to manufacture timber windows when plastic came.
Newly built homes all have to have double glazing as standard, and the double glazing these days keeps more heat inside the home, stops it going out to the outside.
Insulation, efficient boilers and double glazing are all excellent ways to reduce energy consumption and save money. Join us after the break to find out how you can make further savings.
Some people still think double glazing means plastic, and wood windows are drafty, rot and in constant need of paint. Hence the depressing spread of PVCU. But instead of saving money, plastic replacement windows can actually reduce the value of your home. A recent survey of estate agents by English Heritage reveals that unsympathetic replacement windows and doors, particularly PVCU, are the single biggest threat to property values in conservation areas. The Wood Window Alliance can help. Our members' windows are just as energy efficient as PVCU, thanks to double glazing, yet offer better long-term value because they'll last longer. Research estimates a minimum 60 years. They won't need a lick of paint for at least 8 years because they're factory finished. And they'll add value to your home. Visit our website to find a member.
Radfleck is the most efficient radiator reflector on the market, cutting heat loss through the wall by 45%, so reducing energy used in heating the room and your carbon footprint. Independent testing shows Radfleck is at least 23% more efficient than other reflectors. Radfleck takes only minutes to hang on the radiator wall brackets. No sticking to the wall or removing the radiator. No need for professional fitters. Radfleck reflects into the room 95% of the heat radiated from the back of your radiator, otherwise wasted heating the wall. So you can turn down your thermostat and your room reaches your chosen temperature more quickly. Flimsy kitchen foil loses reflectivity from the moment it contacts air. Radfleck's tough-coated aluminium laminate does not and will continue to work year after year as good as new. Contact us to buy Radfleck and start saving energy.
Ariston, an international leader in domestic water heating, brings you a range of products to make your home warm and comfortable at a surprisingly low cost. The Genus and Class gas boilers are recognized by the Energy Savings Trust as being among the most energy efficient available in the UK. At the heart of these good-looking appliances is the Auto-Function Intelligent Management System, which chooses the perfect temperature for the central heating and hot water for bathing or washing up. When linked to an external sensor, the system will take into account the outside temperature and automatically calculate the most efficient way of reaching the preset room comfort levels. Alternatively, if you're seeking a solar heating solution, choose Solar Comfort. For further information on all Ariston products, visit our website www.ariston.co.uk. Ariston, the heart of your home.
We at Ariston make a lot of effort to ensure that installers who use our products are well trained and know the capabilities of products so they can install them properly. Then the key is obviously with the customers, the householders, knowing how to use the products properly and appropriately. And probably one of the most important areas is investing in the future and in future technologies such as gas heat pumps and micro cogeneration. Some people call it micro CHP, and that technology area is going to be a key area for the future, where your appliance, as well as producing heating and hot water requirements, will also produce electricity. There is an opportunity for our industry to shape the future of energy, renewable energy consumption, with more communication, with more promotion through installers, so training installers to sort of convey that information. So yes, I think it is complicated at this point, but that's something that our industry and Ariston's very much at the heart of that, trying to use its experience worldwide. We are very much well established in emerging markets, and we are understanding the climate and environmental changes there. So we're trying to apply this to convey information easier to the general public, and to be able to be ready to make these products available to our customers as soon and as cost effectively as possible. In the UK, we've been very good on condensing boilers, and we're one of the leading countries in the world for conversion to condensing boilers. But in other areas such as solar and particularly heat pumps, we are behind countries such as France and Spain. France is very strong on heat pumps, and Spain is very strong on solar. So we have a way to go still on these other technologies, and the take-up is still quite low in the UK. I think one of the exciting areas is heat pumps, which is, in very simple terms, is like a reverse fridge. In the UK, people understand intuitively solar, but they don't really understand heat pumps. There's a job of work to be done to promote this sort of technology, and I think trying to have easier ways of explaining it, like it's a reverse fridge, will make this product more accessible to the general public.
Being able to warm a house at the turn of a thermostat is considered the norm in most residential properties. But in 2011, many homes now find themselves with central heating systems that are simply not doing the job. Radfleck has developed a product that helps recover heat that is otherwise absorbed by your walls.
Radfleck is a radiator reflector, but it's a radiator reflector which is unlike every other one in the market. Radiator reflectors do what it says on the tin. They reflect radiant energy from behind radiators, so they stop heat going into the wall. But most people's concept of radiator reflectors is of sticking a piece of kitchen foil on the wall. And the trouble about that is, although it works brilliantly for a very short time, because kitchen foil is made from pure aluminium, and pure aluminium reflects 95% of radiant heat. The trouble about pure aluminium is that it oxidates very quickly, and as soon as it oxidates, the layer of oxide on the aluminium becomes polluted by atmospheric pollution. So as soon as it's exposed to air, the reflectivity goes down materially. So although it may be brilliant when you stick it on the wall, very soon thereafter it isn't. Radiators are inefficient in the sense that they're omnidirectional. They radiate energy in every direction. There is a significant amount of heat energy which is just going straight towards the wall. And if the wall isn't particularly well insulated, and there are an awful lot of houses in this country where there is zero insulation, it's an uninsulated, and what's more, might not even have a cavity. Any heat going towards the wall will just be absorbed by the wall. You're heating something which you don't particularly need to heat. What you should be heating is the air in the room. And if it's an outside wall, what's more, you're heating a wall which then leaks heat out of the outside world. So you are wasting energy. And if you reflect the energy, that roughly 45%, which is going out the back of the radiator, if you reflect that back in the room, you are able to heat the room to your whatever temperature you've set. You will use less energy to get there, and you'll take less time to get there as well. You measure between the brackets, you cut the sheet to fit, and there are cutting guidelines on the sheet. You do a fold of the material, you slide 2 clips on, you roll it around the clip, and you drop it behind the radiator. And I may be reasonably experienced because I've done this before, but I reckon after the first radiator, it's about 2 minutes a radiator. And Radfleck is completely different in that it hangs in the space midway between the radiator and the wall, and therefore it's in the most ideal reflective environment with a clear space on each side. It is a very cheap product to put behind your radiator. I mean, you're talking, our 20 radiator pack is £34.99, sort of standard retail. You have to get the product independently tested if you want to be able to sell it to the public with any degree of confidence. And also if you want to participate in the government CERT scheme, which is this scheme called the Carbon Emission Reduction Target Scheme, where energy companies are obliged to create carbon savings amongst domestic consumers. And it's a big obligation, because if they don't hit their target, their allocated carbon target, they suffer a 10% of global turnover fine, effectively. So there's a big incentive on them. And in order to get a product certified for that scheme, you go through a very long and rigorous process. I mean, our Radflex was tested for a period of 9 months before we actually had it cleared. And what the test does, it establishes the level of carbon savings, of energy savings and carbon savings for Radflex for different types of walls. And then that is, as it were, given to Ofgem, and Ofgem then come up with a number, a sort of average savings. Now, you're not going to make huge energy savings. One's got to be honest about this, but in the context of a very cheap product, you get your money back relatively fast. And after that, you're in for free. After that, you've had your money back, and every year you are effectively making savings. The actual underlying material is rated for a 60-year, well, at least a 60-year life. Now, whether or not your radiator is going to be on the wall for 60 years is another issue, but it is a long-lasting material, and energy prices inevitably are going to be going up. It is a high-tech product, and it's a very strong product too. It has a half metric ton burst strength, so you can sit a half ton on top of a sheet and before it goes through. So it's very strong.
Having the heating on permanently is undeniably a waste of energy, as many people will be away from the home for long periods of time during the day, and a lower temperature will be suitable during sleeping hours. The timing controls on your heating are a simple and effective way to save money. The average system will take around 30 minutes to reach temperature, so time it accordingly for when you wake up, leave the house, return from work and go to sleep. This will see a big reduction in your bills and is far more effective than having the heating on permanently.
I think people are making the link between energy efficiency and saving money. Energy prices are going up, so we've all seen our energy bills rising over the last few years, so people are becoming more aware that energy efficiency is a great way to save money.
Despite the average person using more energy in 2011 than the average person in 1970, the good news is that the future holds great promise. Companies are producing ever more efficient products and exploring newer and more responsible technologies. Government is now incentivising environmental products or home improvements, and it really is changing how we use energy. 40 years ago, only 4% of homes had cavity wall insulation. Now, it's around 50%. Similarly, 35 years ago, only 1 in 10 households had double glazing. This figure is now close to 9 out of every 10 homes.
The future for Wood Windows is about the development we can make. We've achieved a standard within the Wood Window Alliance that we're able to promote to people, but that doesn't mean we stop there. What we're trying to do is develop the windows even further. We all use engineered timber nowadays, and we're encouraging smaller members to actually do that. We see the development in timber as the right way forward, and the development of the paint structure that we've actually got to give better warranties and better guarantees.
Whatever your view is on climate change, you can be a climate change skeptic, you can be a climate change believer. It really doesn't matter. Nobody in their right mind wants to waste money by heating up the outside world instead of heating more efficiently the air in your room. And so, I mean, for us, Radflex is a way of helping people reduce their energy bills.
The Energy Savings Trust logo is a well-recognised and well-publicised logo amongst the general public. And you only see the Energy Savings Trust logo on the most efficient boilers. That's why it's a key requirement for us to have it on our products. So customers who see it will know that the products are to the highest efficiency levels.
Our hopes and goals for the next few years are to ensure that we provide UK householders with a broad selection of energy-saving, trust-recommended products from which they can choose. That will help them to save on their energy bills.
There's absolutely a huge knock-on effect from somebody saving energy in their home. They're saving energy, they're cutting their fuel bills, they're doing something good for the environment. You're also making your home a more comfortable place to live in. You're going to tell people about that. You're going to tell your neighbours.
I would like to see every home in the UK being a low-carbon home, so to reducing the amount of carbon emissions that it produces and also having as low energy bills as possible to make it easier for the householder.
Your home should be a place for you to relax and feel comfortable. You shouldn't have to wear 10 layers of clothing and get around by candlelight. With the technology that is available, a home can be heated efficiently and cost-effectively, while the nation's carbon footprint shrinks. The Energy Saving Trust is available for more in-depth guidance about heating your home, and you should feel free to call their advice line to discuss your personal situation. Our future should be about reducing our fossil fuel usage. Indeed, EU targets require member countries to have 30% of its energy from a renewable source by 2020. But for now, households can save money by thinking about the little details and embracing some of the big ideas that companies have developed to use energy more efficiently. If we are all in this together, the road forward will be much easier to travel.